So, hello. A lot of people have been asking me about my pictures, about Vicious Poison, about my modeling website and modeling activities and all related kind of areas of my life. And I always wondered, how much I want to talk about it, how much I want to disclose. And it feels, it's so important to me. I mean, yes, it is important. It is one of these chapters, very important chapters in my life, and so I always felt like it needs a special time and special moment and special light and makeup and and the moon phase and appropriate crystals around, stuff like that. but I think any moment is as good as any. So I guess I'm just gonna maybe, probably if I miss something and if you have some questions, and I probably will miss things because I'm just coming unprepared. It was just like, what should I be talking about? How about something that actually people, been asking me about? So, modeling. So, where should I start? So once upon a time, in a galaxy far, far away, I have been avoiding cameras. I already mentioned probably in my body confidence video. There was a period in my life that I was avoiding camera completely, and there's not a lot of pictures there. And then I went to, then just fast forward, I have gone, I have arrived to Paris, and I had no money, and I think, I've always been interested in exploring certain limits of myself, of what is considered as appropriate and why, and does it come from me, or does it come from society, or does it come from upbringing? And I was very interested in this kind of things considered immoral. And that sounds really serious as a beginning for just talking about modeling and stuff. What I do is not porn, at least not what you can normally see on my website. So it's not like I'm some kind of super controversial figure here. This is all very classy and soft, and it depends on the point of view, obviously, because I have been accused for doing all sorts of basically like, this is very explicit, and so it depends on perception, of course. For me, this is nothing shocking. It's not it is erotic, it is sexy, and it is sometimes a bit provoking, but it's not it's not super shocking or anything like that for people who I definitely for the people that I kind of tend to hang out with, because in this department it's like I'm the softie, I'm a very good girl here, so I'm probably the on the very soft side of things. So but there was this spark in me. I was always a very sexual person, and very curious, and kind of I wanted to know what I'm capable of in different spheres of life. So, and that's seriously, like, in many different spheres of life. It's not just about nudes or this kind of things. So so I kind of knew, and this is the whole different story. I'm trying to basically stick for once to one to one current. I'm trying to talk about modeling and it's very hard because there are different things that were kind of interwoven into that story, and that's not a surprise because my stories are always a bit convoluted. So modeling. So there was, I was basically I had no money, and I came to Paris, and hi mom, like, um, oh dear. So when you are a young girl who's looking for a job, there is no shortage of all sorts of strange offers flowing in. So then you just kind of decide where you want to go from there. And but the actual modeling thing, I can't remember how this idea came to my mind, but I remember I was in Paris Metro, and I was kind of brainstorming, and I think maybe somebody offered me some money for some nudes or something, and I wasn't sure. Can't really remember. What I can remember is that I was feeling very confident that day, and I had this conviction that something's gonna happen. This kind of, without any shadow of a doubt, I was very kind of going into town with the feeling that something's gonna happen. And I've noticed that guy on the metro who had a portfolio, and he was like looking at the pictures, and he kind of looked like a photographer. So I just kind of like looked up, like, okay, like some pictures there, and we happened to got out at the same station, and and walked the same direction. So I was kind of like, oh, okay. So he was on the phone, then I was on my phone, but we were just kind of walking in parallel, and I thought like, oh yeah, he looks, he looks sufficiently like a pervert, so I might just grab my opportunity here. So I was just kind of like, walking very confident, and as we were walking out of the metro, and he put his phone down, and he just kind of looked at me. He's like, "Are you a model, perhaps?" And I thought, like, yes, got it. so I thought, like, no, I'm not, but I can be. Basically, how much you're paying, I can be whatever you want. No, but seriously. So he kind of introduced me into this world of amateur photographers in Paris, which is a thing. Oh no, I've said too much. So basically, of course, the range, that's the thing. It's very important to know that the range of intentions and the range of skill and kind of artistic input in that is very vast. So I absolutely do not want to kind of put everyone into one kind of guy with a camera pervert basket. It's a very interesting basket to be in, but that's not everyone is. And this is with everything. It's like sometimes, for the purpose of the story, things are simplified, but fuck's sake, honestly, it's, I might meet on the same website people who are completely from different worlds, from different, different intentions, and I absolutely don't want to, here be kind of be judgmental and be, just like there is no difference. And it's all just perverts with cameras, because this is not true, and this is like another level of discussion. But what I'm saying is that this is where I kind of began, and And of course, and my perception of things also has changed. So, there are some things that in the past I would be thinking, like, oh, I'm doing this portfolio thing, and this is so, good pictures and stuff. And I'm looking back and I'm like, what the fuck, what was that? How did I agree for, to do some stuff? But definitely, I was mostly basically posing for a lot of amateurs who didn't have, like at the beginning, who didn't have much of artistic intention there, or maybe they thought they did and nobody told them that it's, I don't know, that if you throw like a Dior ribbon into this, then it's gonna be fashion because Dior or something. No, still need some taste. But as long as I was getting paid, I was happy. So I could eat. So that's a bonus. So I never got too skinny. so I was doing well. No, but seriously, that was kind of like my very beginning understanding that you can do a lot of strange, trashy shoots, and so some of those, that's the thing, like some of them were not aesthetically pleasing, and it's like you're not gonna find those things anywhere, I hope. Well, unless I get famous and then somebody will get very, very rich. But I didn't keep a lot of pictures. I don't think I kept any pictures from that period. Everybody now to the keyboard, searching. I was not vicious poison, so you might search all you want. Challenge accepted. Looking for trashy pictures of Alex. Oh, that would be fun. Oh my god. I was I was wearing wigs. I was doing weird stuff with vegetables. And anyway, so trashy stuff, because we are like going borderline here, so to different departments. So maybe I'll talk about that some other time, because I don't want to bore you. That would be just too much to handle for a short video. So and I can hear that I just have to kind of work my vocal cords. I think I'm crying. That memories just touched my soul so much, because it's really funny. It's really, oh my god, really look like I've been crying. It's really funny to look at yourself back at your story, and kind of like my life was never normal. That's pretty cool. So a lot of people told me that I should write a book about my life, and I've been trying. This is kind of in a process, with moments of who the fuck would like to read the book about my life. This is all boring. But then when I say something, everybody's like, "Oh, this is interesting. I'd like to hear more." So I don't know. What do you think? my secret life of Alexandra. So we'll see. There are different aspects of the secret life, but let's see. Not sure. Not sure which aspect is the most interesting. Whether that's actually my dirty Paris years, or what. So yeah. That's a long way from what I'm talking about to vicious poison and questions like I don't know, basically, am I still modeling, or things like that. So I've been there for a while, doing all sorts of strange things on a very amateur level, and so very private kind of. Private collectors, let's put it this way. Nothing aesthetically aspiring. Maybe there were moments when I thought it was, but with time being, I would not really publish those things ever. And then it occurred to me. It didn't really occur to me. It was thanks to a photographer I was working with, who I always praise. I who convinced me that basically, well, he was the first, because I also, there were moments when I wouldn't be, I can't remember, but I think that was, I really can't remember what was the situation, but basically I decided to do the collaboration with him, so I think I wasn't paid for that. I just really loved the pictures, and I wanted to have this kind of pictures. And there were situations in which I would agree to that, and then the actual photographers, the thing that we came up with was nothing like they had in their portfolios, even though it wasn't, there might have been the moments when you might think like, well, it was not their portfolio, or they stole a picture, something like, weird like that. It's not, I don't think this is like, too far-fetched to ever be true, but there are moments when you knew that was their work, and yet what we came up with wasn't that exciting, and I thought like, well, I don't like not getting paid for work and stuff like that, especially when you're not happy with the result. So but that was a collaboration, and basically the pictures he came up with were just, I loved them, and it was the first picture I saw of myself that from this very first shoot with him, that I was like, wow, this is really, is that me? This is really cool. Like, is that what I look like? And he said like, yeah, this is, you could totally do this kind of pictures. It's great. It's he really encouraged me to do something more aesthetically pleasing, and he was great, and he's a great photographer. I really love his work, so I might even throw a link somewhere down there. So because I actually don't know if he's got a website right now, but some form of link, because I love his work. It's very very feminine and sensual and beautiful, and classy and aesthetically pleasing, and a lot of black and white work, beautiful. And I worked with him a couple of times since then, and I'm still kind of, I'm still looking forward to next time, when we work together. But that was a really important moment for me to realize, first of all, it worked great for my self-confidence, and second of all, it kind of opened the door for me to do different kind of modeling, which was much more aspiring. It was much more beautiful, and that kind of led me where I am now with my Vicious Poison project. I think this is gonna be part one, because otherwise I will just talk forever. So I'll just stop here. I'll give you just like a little introduction into story of the Vicious Poison. If you have any questions in the meantime, please ask, and it will help me to get back on track with my story. So thanks a lot for listening, and now I'll see you around. Take care.